my 2-month review of the Faction Tactical V1 during Tree Week when I was skating with Ben Sanders, aka Roller Boots. Funny, we both kind of collectively came to the conclusion that factions seem like the next logical skate for both of us. After King of Ohio, I got a chance to skate. Actually, didn't skate. I just tried on China's factions, and like the second I put them on, I was like, "Oh wow, these feel like an amazing fit, and they feel right for me, and they feel like something I wanted to try." So I looked on the faction website, and I saw that there was one size left, the 6.5 is what China was wearing. I usually wear a bigger one than that, but I was just like, okay, I don't care. There's one left. I'm gonna buy it. I used the money that I won from King of Ohio to buy it, and I was just gonna put my own liners in and rock it since it's a 6.5 feet shell. But after I bought it, I was talking to Clark, and he was like, "Oh, well, that's the pair that I sent to China that I didn't update the inventory on." So that's funny. I actually bought the pair of factions that I tried on, because I tried on some bigger ones, and you know, they were too big for me. So I was like, "Yeah, I don't know about these." But yeah, when I tried on ones that fit me, there was just a very dreamy kind of like Cinderella sort of. It just fits right. So just so happened that Clark had a set that has one of the UFS bolts is off by a couple of degrees, so he ended up just giving me these. So I used the money that I was going to use to buy it on extra soles and the Fruit Tech hardware and some of the clothes. So I was able to support a little bit there. So yeah, the boot itself is fantastic. I've had really bad experiences, or I've had less than ideal experiences with carbon boots. The carbons just didn't mesh with me, and neither did the adapts. I think because they're so stiff. Whereas these, they have replaceable liners, and the cuffs are nice and flexy. I like that a lot. They're not as flexy as my Solomon cuffs, but they're very close to it. And they have very nice long buckles, which I'm a big fan of. Decently robust buckles. There is some wear on there, and they're starting to get a little bent. But after 2 months, this is pretty good for me. Usually have to replace a buckle right about now. So a little bit better than average, I would say, on the buckle department. The lacing system is very functional. I can tighten it or make it as loose as I would like. The straps are also functional. That's usually how I tighten my skates, is just using the strap. And the carbon boots feel nice and light. They're nice, solid, robust, and they look good. I really like how they look. I mean, it's one of those things where I just look at these, and it's just they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Sole plates are my favorite part. They're designed by Justin Thursday. They actually have a nice fin on the back for rough grinds, and you know, in some of the pictures it looks like they might be a little bit too protruding, but when you actually see them on and see them in person, they're not that noticeable. Fantastic design, especially when you do rough grinds. The backslide groove is fantastic for some things, and other things I have a little bit longing for. They're amazing for front torques and front farfs and binsells. I could do topside binsells on ledges in these, and that's really cool. They slide amazingly. They're really, really good for cess slides. That's like one of the first things I tested out on them, and they pass with flying colors. They slide really quick, and they lock extremely, extremely well. Like when you hit that topside, it just grabs it, and it feels really good. And this is about 2 months of me cess sliding. And I got maybe a month or 2 left in there. I actually have a really deep groove in this one because I preemptively grinded it on a unwaxed ledge so I can have a nice deep groove, because with how much wear I put on it, I would have lost the backslide groove already. And this negative, I wish could be a little bit bigger for my personal preference, but they are fantastic. Same thing with the outside. So once you lock in there, it feels like a really good lock. The 8-point mounting system is fantastic. They don't move at all, and there's actually some padding underneath the stock soles, which is fantastic. The only thing is that with the replacement soles, they don't have that, so I might need to like use a hairdryer or something like that to take off this to have this padding underneath still, and it doesn't go anywhere. This sole is on here really nice. The FruitTech hardware is great. I'm almost kind of spoiled by the FruitTech hardware. It definitely has that premium feel to it, and as with the whole entire skate, it has a very premium feel to it. At a pretty reasonable price, I'd say, for what you get. So for their first entry, I think they really nailed it. One thing that is a concern, that was a concern for me, was my bolts would come loose quite oftenly, both the stock bolts and the FruitTech hardware. With cheap thread tape, it would just come out still, but I went for the $5 thread tape, and I've not had a problem with the bolts coming loose at all since then. So if you buy these skates, I'd say don't skip on the thread tape, and you'll be fine. Although I have noticed, I think between a combination of riding the 50/50 Prime, the aluminum cores, and the carbon, I've noticed that I have a lot more impact, and my knees have been feeling it. I'm not sure which one is more than the other, but there is some impact with here. I actually do have to use the stock insoles and my footprint insoles, so that's something to keep in mind. I'm actually using the stock liner. Felt more comfortable than my Intuitions, actually. The stock liner for me is kind of like the best parts of my Intuition liners and the King 55s. So they have like the puffiness and like the pillowy feel of the King 55s, but with the stability and structure that the Intuitions have. So I would recommend giving the stock liners a try if you pick them up before just kind of switching liners. And I have noticed that there was a bigger break-in period than I'm used to. That might be because it's carbon and it's not so pliable as plastic. And I'm riding new liners where usually I would just wear my same liners that I've been riding for years. So the break-in period has been a little bit longer for me, but I just heat molded them, and I was scared to heat mold them, but I'm glad I did. I heat molded them, and they feel just formed my feet now, so I'm excited to try that out. The control I have with them is pretty amazing. I can point my toes where I wanted to go, and it just slides right in place. And the way I have my cuffs, my buckles set up with my one click, it just locks right in when I get on topside or set slide, and it just stops right there rather than flopping too far over or not going far over enough. So it takes a little bit of finding the right point. But once it's there, it feels really good and really solid. These are probably the most premium feeling skates I've ever skated, so I would definitely recommend them. Clark said that there should be a new shipment coming in very soon, almost any time now, I feel. So be on the lookout because they're currently out of stock, but they may be in stock, and they'll probably go quick again when they come back in. If you're thinking about picking it up, I wouldn't hesitate, because you might not be able to get a pair as soon as they come back out. And I think there are some more models on the way as well, but I'm very happy with these, and whether or not I paid for them is kind of irrelevant. I'm just very, very satisfied with these skates. That's all I got. Feel free to leave a like, comment, let me know what you think. If you have them, give me your viewpoint, your perspective on what they're like if you experience them. And I have a Patreon and PayPal, Venmo, all that stuff if you want to support me and help me get more things to try out and review and travel and skate and all that cool stuff. So appreciate you, and big shout outs to my patrons, Sean Michelson, who's been a patron since basically the very beginning. He's helped me and been a supporter for as long as I've been being a content creator guy. Also, Law, thank you very much for being a new patron. Appreciate you and appreciate all the things you've been doing. Keep an eye out for Law. He's actually coming out with a new skate. Law teased an image on his past live stream of his skate coming up, so be on the lookout for that. And I don't know how to end these things. I'm done. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. See ya.